Hey y'all, this is the Will and Deshaun show. I'm Deshaun.
And I am Will.
Will, how are you?
I am great. How are you?
Old, apparently.
Why you say that?
Well, apparently, the kids think anything over 29 is like ancient.
Well, you know that's deaf.
You know, 30 is the new 80 on the
30 is the
TikToks
new
these
80.
days, okay?
Wow.
Seriously. Like anybody who's trying to do anything not stereotypically adult, I guess, is
hmm
considered old or is considered like they doing something too much if they're over the age of 29.
Is it that they're saying that you shouldn't be doing a certain thing at that age? Is that what they're saying?
It's a mixture of things. It's they're saying you should be doing a certain thing after that age. They're saying that they're just like when a person mentions their age, they just think it's old.
Okay, let's all play devil's advocate a little bit.
Okay.
Because we can all remember being 21. He was like, then you turn to 25, you're like,
Mhm.
ooh, I'm about to turn 30. I don't know what it is and what we get that from and what urban legend that we get that from or why we
Right.
think that when we turn 30, we officially are old and decrepit or something for some
Oh
reason.
my God. Then on TikTok sometimes too, it's like you see young people talking about how they're old. They're like, oh, I'm going in the
Oh,
house.
they
And
like, oh, I'm at Unk status.
yeah,
Unk status?
lit-
You only 28.
like they be talking about unk
Well,
status.
don't get me wrong. Some of them look like they unks, to be honest. Because now we'll say, now I know every generation has their thing, but these kids do look a lot older than they are. Because I'm like, I'm 43, and you look like you're 56.
You think they are aging faster?
They are. I feel like it's all the hookah, all the vapes,
The hookah,
the
I
the, the
can't.
McDonald's.
The food, it's in
It's
the
all the
food. It's in
lemon
the
pepper
food.
wings everybody be eating.
You know what? I've always thought that social media has aged the generation behind us faster. One thing I always point to is prom. Prom back in my day was goofy. It was
Not
prom, and
goofy.
they had their little prom outfits, their little tux, the girls had their dresses, but
hmm
prom now is grown.
It's now okay. Now this is where I will agree with you
Yeah.
because, like you said, it was very like prom formal wear when we went. Well, especially when I graduated, because I am older than you. So when
Mhm.
I went to prom, it was very formal wear. I was actually best dressed male.
Oh
Um,
wow.
it was don't do that. It was very more formal, very much. They got their suits from whatever tuxedo place. The girls got theirs, they're in there from a bridal shop
Yeah.
or whatever. But now they is giving Met Gala.
Oh my, it's Met Gala.
They is giving
Like,
Met
so
Gala.
my nephew just went to prom, Prada shoes.
Right. Oh, and everybody wearing labels now.
I
You're
mean,
right.
the labels I knew about was like Tommy Hilfiger, Nautica,
Izzy Miyake was like the greatest one that we knew about.
okay, the labels down at the Dillards and the Macy's is what
Hello.
I knew.
Right.
But these kids now, because of the internet, they have gotten a hold of like these luxury brands that I didn't even find out about until I was out of high school. Because
Everybody's dress and tux now is custom.
yeah, custom
It's very
tux,
custom.
custom
We didn't
dress.
get no. I got a tuxedo that I rented and took back 2 days later.
Right, because we ain't had internet, and so I didn't know about those brands, and Savannah ain't had no fancy stuff, so we went with what we went with. I knew my parents was happy. Thank God
And
you don't know
mind you,
about none
these
of that.
parents are paying for this. Like I had
Yeah,
to pay for my own prom stuff
yeah, the
because I
parents are
worked,
paying. The parents are
so the
paying.
parents paid it. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then I just feel like everyone really thinks that they think that their time, I guess, is now versus us thinking our time is now. I think the kids kind of think that they're peaking in their 20s.
That's sad
But
though.
did we not go through that? Did you feel like when you was like approaching 25, like, okay, I need to get my life together. It's time.
No, not necessarily. But I was like, oh, I'm starting to hit. I am starting to get older. And when it was time for me to turn 30, I didn't want about to cry. But then when I actually turned 30, I was like, I don't feel any different. Because
I really,
everybody talking about so how I guess some light bulb or switch supposed to come on, or you supposed to feel different in your
yeah.
body once you turn 30, which is a
Oh,
myth.
I hate when people say that.
I don't know where we get that from, but it's like when I turned 30, I was like, I still feel the same as I did yesterday. Now, don't get me wrong. As I got into my 30s, I matured and grown a lot. And now that I'm in my 40s, in my mid 40s to be exact, I am growing a lot as well. So it's like one of those things that I feel more scared to getting older now that I'm in my 40s than I really, really did when I was in my 20s, especially now with the signs of aging, like gray hair and
Like
stuff like
real
that.
life signs now.
Right. Real life sounds like, oh, I actually am getting older.
Back ache, hip ache,
Knees,
this ache, that
Lord,
ache.
these knees.
But I do remember hearing that 25 is the age of change. That is the age where you need to know what you're doing. However, I didn't.
Now, when you hit that 30 mark is when you folks with like, okay, now you need to be in your career, you need to be
Yeah,
married, have children at this point.
right.
And you really don't turn grown to me until you get like 35, to be honest.
You know what? I will say this: the older I've gotten, I'm not gonna say the younger I feel, but I will say it's almost like the more you know, the more you don't know.
Hmm.
So it's almost like there's so much more to learn in this world, and there's so much more I still want to do. And I look at life as I'm gonna be here till like past 100. Like I got plans for my 90s. Okay, like
Right.
I'm gonna be
Exactly.
here.
Exactly. You really want to live more and take advantage of actually living as you get older. Because you, like I said, it kind of gets to a point where, for me personally, I was like, ooh, I have more time behind me than I do got in front of me. But you don't know how long you want to live, how long you're going to live, right? Because people, unfortunately, they pass every day at every different age, at every different
Unfortunately,
stage in
yeah,
life. So, but I
yeah,
was like I said, for me, I was like, yeah, I want to live a very long time. I pray that I do live a very long time. And I was like, I want to do this when I get older, that and this and that and this and that. And like I said, as of now, it's like you really feel better as you get older
you do.
in a certain
You're
way.
more confident. You're more comfortable in your own
Yeah,
skin.
and
Yeah.
also being older, I guess again, it goes back to the what we see in the media. Again, when we watch television, the people that we saw on TV, like Sanford and Son and all these different people,
Hmm.
we like, or the Jeffersons or like Good Times, and we like, damn, we thought they were so old, but it was
Yeah.
actually supposed to be my age. Or even like watching the Golden Girls,
Mm.
they look like they was 80 some years old. They
Right.
was only supposed to be in their 50s. I'm
It
like,
didn't help that they all had white hair. And it
exactly.
was
So
called the Golden
again, what
Girls.
what looked old at that time, and what we thought how you're supposed to be as an older person, you're supposed to be like old, kind of like decrepit and not
Right.
vital. But
Hmm.
now I was like, baby, please, we looking younger, especially the millennials. We look younger. We
Right.
feel younger. We're
Mm.
keeping ourselves up. We're not doing the same thing. We're still vital, and being vital as you get older and have your mobility is my main thing that I want.
I will say this though, as I get older, I do feel more of a sense of urgency to do things because time is just so precious, and the time is moving very
Right. You
fast.
don't feel like you have time on your side. Now, I will say the
Right.
only thing is about getting older now is that pressure. Now, you do feel the pressures because you feel like, man, I should have been further along than I am. And like you said, I should have this, I should have that, or I don't want to be paying for this when by the time I get that age. First, for me personally, I was like, okay, it's like, okay, buying a house. I should have bought a house in my 30s. So that way, by the time I retire, I don't have to be continue to pay this mortgage. You know what I'm saying? Be
Right.
kind of finished. You do kind of want to think about like retirement, and for me, that's one more thing I've been thinking about a lot now is
Hmm.
retirement. Now that I'm in my 40s,
Right. Definitely. You're starting to plan more for the future.
yeah,
But
you
I
really do.
also feel like people think, even people our age think that when you get to a certain age, you're supposed to even act a certain way. Like, why you still wearing that? Why you still going here? Like, why
Okay,
you
now
still doing
I
certain
I am
things?
slightly guilty of that,
Mhm.
especially when it come down to. I feel like you should still look mature, but you can still be stylish, right?
Right.
I should not be looking like my nephew. Me and my nephew shouldn't be looking like twins. You get what I'm saying? Like, it just looks silly to me sometimes.
Right. Right.
Because you could be a stylish older guy, not to say that you have to be looking like Unc with the linen suits and stuff like that.
Right.
You can still be a stylish older man, but you don't have to be looking like a teenager.
Right. And I think it's all about balance. At the end of the day, whatever y'all feel comfortable
I mean, you're gonna do
in,
what you
you're
want to do
gonna do what you
anyway,
want to do.
but I'm not trying to keep up with my nephew and them, like, so y'all can try to get these young girls.
Right. I don't want to look 20, but I don't want to look 60.
Exactly. You
That's
want to you
that's
want to dress
always
of
my
the
thing.
fashion of your
Yeah.
age.
Exactly. I ain't trying to look like I'm going down to the
Yeah, we ain't
young
trying to look
teen
like
club.
Pawpaw.
Right. I ain't trying to go to the old folks club too
Right.
now, So it's all about balance.
Yeah. Where is the middle age grown people spots at? Because I feel like now,
Loretta's in Atlanta.
wait, is that where it is?
Uh-huh.
Because I was like, I'll notice now, especially if you go to bars and clubs, they have become way younger, which makes me think like, damn, I am really getting older. Or is it that it's just transitioning and a lot of people that is older don't go out as much and now the younger generation is taking over?
I think it's that. And the younger generation don't club how we club. And
Hmm.
so they're not enjoying the club as much as we did when we were in our 20s.
Okay.
And I feel like now, restaurants now are turning into multi-purpose
Which I
venues.
don't like.
Their bars, their
They
clubs,
want to
their
be.
lounges,
They
their
all
spaces.
are people who really wanted a club and a bar and a lounge, but they had to get a food. They had to have food so they can actually get
They
a
just
liquor
trying to make
license
some money,
easier.
okay? They
No,
whatever it takes.
they really want a bar and a lounge, but they had to get a restaurant so they get the liquor license easier because it's harder to get a liquor license as a bar or a lounge here in Atlanta.
Also, you make more money with food.
Always, because you're gonna be hungry. You drink it. Drink it
Right,
makes you
so,
hungry.
yeah, you make a lot of money with food.
But I don't see. The thing is, for me, I don't like that because I actually enjoy a dining experience. I don't want a lounge experience. If I want to go to a lounge or that kind of bar, I will go there. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I want to eat. I don't want to be somebody throwing ass while I'm trying to eat my food. You
Well,
know what I'm
sir,
saying?
perhaps you should go to the
Like,
lounges that lounge.
that's
and
what
the
I'm saying.
restaurants that
That's
restaurant.
right. It's hard to differentiate here in Atlanta because they all do that. You
need to
think
go
it's a
to,
regular restaurant, and next thing you know, everybody doing boots on the ground.
You need to go to the Piccadilly.
Go to Piccadilly.
Olive Garden.
Literally, you really gonna have to start going back to chains because all the restaurants.
The other day I went to TGI Fridays and they had a goddamn DJ and they had hookah too.
Hookah. Which one was that?
Camp Creek.
I knew it. But Camp Creek had always had turned to the club. They before COVID. It was like TGI Fridays. On Fridays they would have like the club. They had like the DJ and stuff.
Yeah, sometimes it do be fun. I ain't gonna even lie, but sometimes
for its time.
For its time.
Like if you feeling that kind of mood, you feel that kind of mood. But to just normally go to and want to go have dinner or lunch somewhere, and next thing you know, it's boots on the ground. Come on now, everybody cracking fans.
I remember working.
I'm trying to eat.
I remember working somewhere and the music was so loud, and the owner used to be like, "Yeah, they like that." But then I would be at the place yelling at the guests. They yelling at me. They telling me to turn the music down. I'm asking, can we turn the music down? And I'm trying to figure out who actually liked this. Like,
again,
who is enjoying this experience?
Right. I guess
I'm not. They're not.
I guess as we getting older, see stuff that change when you get older.
Right.
You don't like super loud music when you're trying to dine somewhere. Because like I said, you can't talk to your guests who you're with. You can't hear your servers speak to you.
I don't want to have to talk to you like this. The whole time. I'm hoarse when I leave.
The whole time?
Right.
The whole time.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
There's a time and a place for everywhere. We sound old.
We're
the old ones.
Right. Now these are the things that we're complaining about.
I will say this though. When I was 15, I didn't think 30 was old. I thought it was grown.
Oh, I did.
But I didn't think it was old.
I did. I was like, "Ooh, you get 30, you gonna be old."
Probably because I had siblings that old. But I knew it was, older than me, but I didn't think it was like old. And I think because my parents are significantly older, not that much older in today's time. Everybody have kids later in age. But I think maybe it's because I saw older people. Like I saw my grandparents who were old. I saw my parents. I saw
You know what's so funny that you said that about your grandparents because again, all my life I just thought my grandparents was old.
Mm-hmm.
However, until they actually really start to show that they were older, I actually saw them as older people. Like I actually saw them old. Like they were. I was born very young, to young parents. So my grandparents probably was my age when I was born. So to actually now see them old is so funny to me. I was like, oh my God, my grandparents are old. They look old now. Again, in my brain as a kid growing up, they was always old because they were my grandparents. And grandparents are synonymous with old, right?
Right.
So, but now I was like, oh snap, my grandparents are actually old.
Right. When I came into the world, my grandparents were already grandparenting. So they was old. It was I think they was in their 70s. Yeah.
Another thing about getting older is, like you said, 60s, you do think about your mortality more, which makes you do more and makes you want to accomplish more because you kind of like, ooh.
Yeah. You only get one chance.
Right. Like I got to get this done. I got to get this done. Like, oh, I'm getting old. I need to get this done.
Yeah. And I think you really start to cherish every moment too, because time is so important. So
time is so important when you get older.
And it gets more and more and more like the time almost inflates as you get older. Mm-hmm. It's like money is important too. Like don't get me wrong.
Of course, you got to have that.
You got to have money. That's a resource we all need. But time becomes so much more valuable as you get older. Because even today, this week, it feels like time is going by so fast, and it's going by faster and faster and faster. Yeah. I remember always saying, "Oh, I ain't got time to do this. I ain't got time to do that." Even now, I feel like I have more time to do things, but I still don't have time to do things.
It's like you have time, but you don't have time.
Yeah.
So, I feel like that all the time, to be honest.
And I got to get me a nap in,
and it's like, I don't get any rest, but it's like, you have all this other time, but you don't be rested. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like a lot of stuff you really don't think about. And time really does go by fast, especially when you pay attention to it, right?
Right.
Because how is it that when you're at home, time go by so quickly, when you're off from work or whatever, time go by so quickly. But when you are at the gym doing cardio and or at work, time seems like it's going slow.
Really, to me, when I'm at the gym, time goes fast.
On doing cardio,
Doing anything.
not for me. Now, when I'm weightlifting, it goes by fast. But cardio, baby, them 40 minutes don't be hit faster.
That's a long fucking
40
time
minutes.
on cardio.
Yes, I normally do 30, and I've now increased it to 40 minutes.
Fuck no.
I have not ever seen 40 minutes be that long. Now, we can watch a whole 45-minute television show, and it'll go by so quick. But 40 minutes doing any cardio machine,
I understand why
seems like
it's
it's
long
forever.
for you.
How long do you cardio for?
10 minutes.
Oh, that ain't enough.
I do a walk/run a mile. That's it.
In 10 minutes?
Uh-huh.
Okay, look at you. You better be on that flow, Joe.
10 to 12. Yeah, 10 to 12.
All right, flow, Joe.
But I just do, I run. When I get tired, I walk. Like, I don't stress it.
Yeah, see, I do a lot of walking because I have shin splints, so I can do all that running.
Yeah, so 40 minutes cardio is a lot.
Yeah, baby, I'm trying to get there.
But yeah.
Gotta keep this heart pumping.
But yeah. So to all the kids out there who are watching, who think they're getting old, who have y'all midlife crisis at 25,
Right.
like, it's really not that bad. Life gets better and better and better.
It does get better. I will
start to
say
enjoy
that.
everything.
Because things won't stay the same. Everything has seasons.
Yeah.
And it gets better. As the old people always say, keep on living.
And it's never too late to do whatever you want to do. Don't
That's
let these
true.
people.
Oh.
It was Twitch. A lot of people, because Twitch got this university or something like that.
Yeah.
I think Hasanat maybe has a university.
Yes.
And then the people, some of the streamers were older. And so the younger streamers were like, why are you still trying to stream and you this age? And, the older streamers was like, I do what I want. If I want to stream, I can stream.
Right. People put limit. Now, okay, that goes back to what you were saying earlier.
Mhm.
People do put limits because of your age. Like, especially people like gamers. Like, oh, why you still playing PlayStation? You 40 something. Why you collecting Funko Pops? Why you doing Legos or anything that's probably healing their inner child or just bringing somebody joy? It's like if they pay their bills, they can do whatever they want to do.
Right.
And there is no limit or age limit on what you can do.
Why does adulthood have to be boring?
Exactly. That's what they make it. Make it boring.
That's
like
what
you do really take the joy out of adulthood.
I'm gonna be a kid forever, okay?
I might not be a kid forever, but I'm going to enjoy what I want to enjoy. And if it's a new hobby of something that I used to do as a kid, if I want to go back to doing adult coloring books, or I want to start taking up a hobby of doing Legos or collecting action
Whatever
figures,
you want to do.
that's what I'm going to do. And you can't tell me no different. If it brings me joy and I'm not hurting anybody, I'm spending my money. Who you going to tell me what to do?
A lot of y'all going to turn 24 and be ready to goddamn
off yourself.
Y'all going to be depressed. Y'all going to be in rehab.
Exactly. That's what it is. People don't have no hobbies no more, and because we have social media and streaming, that people playing video games and just talking to random strangers online forever. They don't have no social skills in real life.
Right, exactly. So yeah, the world is definitely changing. It's a different place.
It is.
Out here.
It's definitely a different place.
Yeah, but all in all, do you have anything else you need to say?
Keep on living. Hopefully we live
ain't
forever.
Nothing but a number.
And
going
a noun
down
ain't nothing but a noun ain't nothing but a thing.
I thought she said going down ain't nothing
but a thing.
Oh my
God, no!
She didn't say that.
She did not say that.
I thought she said
R. Kelly wrote that. So
ain't
that sounds like
I thought she said.
No, Fred. It was a noun ain't nothing but a thing.
Oh, there I go, Miss.
A noun, a person, place, or a thing.
And I thought it was going down.
Oh my God!
Thing. I was like, ooh,
where's your mind at? Okay,
I didn't know what that was back then.
That's crazy.
But anyway, y'all stay young.
Stay young. Bye.